Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Lauren Walker, Senior Director of Strategy at Inman, and I'm really excited to talk with Julie Faupel today. Julie is the CEO of Realm and the owner of Jackson Hole Real Estate Associates. And so, Julie, you are the perfect person to talk to about this because we're going to talk about relationships and technology. And I don't know of a better time that this conversation should be had than right now.
That's the truth, Lauren. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me. And no, I think we're really right in the thick of it. I mean, we've been really, as you know, real estate is a relationship-driven business, and it's something that you'll never really take the place of that trusted advisor or that that confidant. The role that we play throughout a real estate transaction and throughout the life of our relationships with our clients. But I think over the past, certainly the past few years, we've been hearing more and more about things coming in and disrupting those relationships, or things changing the dynamics of those relationships. And so it's a very interesting time. And now, especially as we're all at home and quarantined and trying to navigate how those relationships look when you're not necessarily sitting in front of someone, or you've got somebody that really wants to buy something and they've been dreaming about it and they can't get to you.
Right.
So there are a lot of dynamics and a lot of things changing right now, but I think it's a time of great opportunity, and I'm excited to explore that with you a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, we talk about disruption a lot. We use that as a buzzword, but man, do we understand what that means right now more than ever, right? We are in full disruption mode. So
Yes.
let me take a step back, because you and I had a conversation earlier that I want to bring up right now, which is the fact that you started another company at a very interesting time. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So when we started our real estate company, it actually turned 11 years old yesterday. It
Wow,
was
happy
our
birthday.
birthday. Yeah, and so it was on April 1st of 2009, and it was in the absolute throes of the downturn. And there was a lot of shifting and a lot of moving in our marketplace, and there was an opportunity for us to start something new, for us to take a look at an old business model and really reinvent it and redefine how we worked, and made sure that it was something that was sustainable long into the future. And it was, my husband will describe it. He'll say, a lot of times if your plane is going down, you either give it more gas and it goes down into the ground, or you get the lift that you need and you ride. And I think that was a little bit of what we did then, and it's a little bit of what has become our operating model, which is, you have to lean in to some of these times of adversity, because they end up being times of really great opportunity and abundance once you emerge from that. And so we started the company, and now we've grown. We have 11 offices. We have like the most amazing 115 agents you've ever seen, and this great culture, and this wonderful kind of institutional curiosity, and this desire for excellence. And so it's a great group, and we go every day and kind of thank our lucky stars that we get to work with people that we really enjoy, and people that are operating at the absolute top of the profession.
I love that idea of leaning into this opportunity. That's a really proactive way to feel about the current situation and what's happening to the real estate industry. When it comes to technology, what do you think of when we say technology? Because talk about a buzzword, right? That encompasses a whole lot of things. So when you're talking about technology and relationships, what are you thinking about?
Well, so first of all, Lauren, I mean, I'm no technologist. I mean, I'm excited when I can get the Zoom meeting to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm somebody that's been good at making friends, and I'm kind of just more of that relationship girl. And so that's really what my career has always been about. But, the more we started hearing from agents and colleagues and friends about, gosh, is technology going to take the place of a real estate professional? How is this going to play into my business? What do I need to be focusing on? I started to really look outward and say, okay, what does this look like? And we need to make sure that we're staying relevant.
Hmm.
And so we need to embrace this, but is there a way that we can embrace it and have the technology enable the relationship to be even that much more deep and robust and rewarding? And so, I mean, when we went about building Realm, we went not just to the real estate community, but we went to industry in general. So we spoke to everyone from the founders of Soho House to the chief marketing officer from Airbnb, and representatives from Microsoft and Google and all over, to really help us understand where does relationship and technology reside? Where does that how does that fold into an overall experience? And at the end of the day, what we ended up kind of coming up with was this amazing platform that brings the importance of the relationship that stays with the agent and stays with the real estate professional, but it is enabled by all of the wonderful resources that have been developed by technology professionals.
Right.
So it's an enhancement. I would say technology is an enhancement,
Okay. Very
never a
good.
replacement. Yeah.
An enhancement, not a replacement. I
Yes.
think that really sums it up nicely. Julie, you have your team, that you talked about. And of course, you have a very broad network of professionals. What are you seeing your top performers doing right now that maybe other agents who are watching this can learn from? What can you share?
So I think it was amazing. So with our Realm members 2 weeks ago, as this was kind of unfolding and everybody was navigating some really uncertain territory, we sent out an email to 288 of the top producing real estate professionals in the world, and said, we're going to have we're going to just, let's do a brainstorming session. Let's talk about what we're seeing. And 150 of them showed up on the phone call.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I think that speaks volumes about the level of professional that we're working with, because those are the same people. They're all leaning in. They're all really anxious to help each other and to really operate in this level of community, in this place of abundance where it's like, it's not siloed. We all need to hold hands in order to get through this. And in most cases, if we hold hands and we collaborate and we kind of lean into the opportunity, we're going to emerge from this that much stronger with better tools and a greater skill set than we started with. I mean, when you look at kind of what's happening, and you mentioned it, Lauren, where it's like, okay, so we've been talking a lot about disruption and different players in the real estate marketplace being disruptors. Well, we just got the mother of all disruptions,
That's for
and
sure.
there's nothing any of us can do about it. So what we need to do is learn, and we need to evolve, and we need to make sure that our businesses are sustainable. We owe that to our clients and to each other. And so I think it's a great time to really take a look and evaluate. And it's kind of nice to have a little bit more quiet time, at home or in a place where you can reflect and be a little bit mindful about what's going on. But I think that the really great performers are going to emerge from this in kind of elevating their business to the next level.
Sure. Do you want to talk a little bit about what the Realm membership is, how someone gets into the network, just so that our viewers understand what we're talking about?
Sure. So it's Realm is a membership of elite agents. So it's brand agnostic. So what we said was there isn't anything like, if you look at what a real estate professional does, like our company, take my company for example. So we have 115 small businesses that are operating underneath our company umbrella, right? So each of those real estate professionals is their own business. And I think sometimes in the business, we get a little bit confused about like, well, who's building, is the company in service to the agent? Is the agent in service to the company? And we've always taken the approach that it really is about the agent and these individual agents that are making contributions to the community and really driving value in their own way through their network. And so we wanted something, there's lots of incredible brands out there and lots of great services, but we wanted something that really honored the agent and said, this is an ingredient brand. It's not anything that is ever going to be, a headline or pulled behind the Goodyear blimp or anything like that. Realm is really something where it's all about adding value and really making the agents that are members that much more valuable because they're being enriched by data that we're getting from, all these different resources, and we're pulling into a database. So we're enriching their client information the moment that they join. And it's in a totally encrypted and private environment. So they don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, somebody's going to steal my client. That doesn't work like that. There's an NDA that gets executed so that they know we're not taking their data. And so, they're getting all of that enrichment. They're getting enrichment from talking to each other, from learning from best practices, from learning from various markets, and without necessarily any of the noise that you have from, competition. It's kind of like, let's look at this a different way. I mean, I've worked with real estate professionals all over the world, and one thing is certain, and it is that they regard, that excellence is a lifestyle. They cater to the very best people in the very best markets, and we all know how valuable those relationships are. And so when you're sitting down and you're talking together about the best interest of the client, you're having a really pure communication, and the end result ends up being just that much more optimized because you're in an environment where you're with people that are like-minded.
Sure. And you mentioned lifestyle, which I think is really interesting. And I've done some reading about Realm and, a lot of the material, and we've talked about this before, but can you explain to the audience, what does it mean to be a lifestyle marketing? How does lifestyle factor into relationships?
It's everything, so when you look at it, it's so funny the way that we market in real estate, because we do this, the way that we market today is like this great big monologue out to the marketplace where we say, okay, you know what, here, 15 million people are going to see your property every month. And, and we do that. And we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars personally on marketing that way and getting that message out to as many people as we can. Well, at the end of the day, nobody really buys a house based on that, where it's like, oh my gosh, there's a kitchen. Yes, of course there's a kitchen and there are some bedrooms and bathrooms. And so what people buy real estate based on, and especially when you're dealing in luxury, is it's that feeling, right? It appeals to a certain essence of their lifestyle. So when you walk in with somebody and you say, oh my gosh, Sally Jones, can you imagine having your kids play in the backyard there? And look, Bobby's already climbing that tree. It's all about the lifestyle. And that's what sells real estate, And so, so what we did was we just said, let's look at this a different way. It's a relationship, and people have a relationship with their things. And so, it's a funny thing. And I'm sure that the PR company will cringe when I say it is a little bit like Match. It's like a relationship matching service for real estate is exactly what we're doing within Realm. And so we're matching up trusted advisors that are guiding their clients, that have so much insight and such a wealth of knowledge and information, that really it creates such a curated special experience for the client that you're building these clients for life. And that's really what it's all about. It's not, at least as far as Realm is concerned, and as far as, my personal business philosophy, it's real, it's more about the total value, the long-term value of that client, and the referrals that they make, and the introductions that they make, and the rave reviews that they have, and the fact that you get to be a part of this very personal experience that these people are having. You're sharing in it, rather than just kind of being like, yep, it's a transaction, just kind of getting it done. So,
Right.
yeah, and that's kind of what Realm caters to.
Got it. So as we wrap up, I want to leave our audience, I love that there's things that they can know now, they can think about globally, think about a 30,000 foot view about their business and how they approach lifestyle marketing. What would you say at this time of opportunity to take a little mindfulness, a little time to work on your business? What should they be doing if they really want to start pivoting toward a more lifestyle focused real estate business?
Well, I think I have a feeling that they're already doing it.
Mm,
I mean, that's the beauty of a lot of your readership. They are good at what they do, and so it's more about taking a look and saying, how do I stay observant to that, and then how do I put into place tools that help support that? Because at the end of the day, it's about being of service to your clients,
yes.
and especially in these times when it's so uncertain. What are you doing to be of service to your clients? What are you doing to be of service to your community? Those are things right now that I think are really critical, in terms of just building a very well-rounded, sustainable business. Now, I also think, adding services and leaning in as an individual agent, I think that's important too. And you can do that without any additional expense. Whether it's networking and picking up the phone and kind of getting in touch with some of your other colleagues. I mean, I've seen more support and more community from, just colleagues that are out there that are working and supporting each other on blogs or, picking up the phone and calling. I also think you can do that with strategic partnerships, and really saying, okay, how do we do this differently? What do we need to do to reach out to people that are adjusting to being in their homes all of the time? This is a massive adjustment. So the more we can provide kind of like a comfort and kind of a safe place and be a font of information and knowledge, I think that's going to be critical. And the last thing, and I just wanted to kind of make sure that we talked about this, because the last thing that I was thinking about this morning is, what does it mean? Like, what does luxury mean, and what does service mean kind of post coronavirus? Because
Yes.
I think it's a totally different animal, right? It's like that. And that's something that I mean, I heard that on a podcast this morning, and I was like, that is amazing. What does it mean? Because the things that we took for granted a few weeks ago
Yep.
are now luxuries. And
Yes.
so where I'm like, I love my husband and I love my dogs. I don't know that I love them this much. But no, I miss my friends and I miss that sense of community and being able to go out and kind of hang out and do this. That to me right now is a luxury. And so how is that going to shift how we view real estate, how our clients view real estate? And I think we have to stay really connected to that, because that's going to be a massive influencer, as we go forward and as we kind of chart our course out of this. But again, I think it's full of opportunity, and I'm excited about it. I mean, I know that sounds really crazy, but I'm excited to kind of come out of this and to see how people react, and to really and to see what emerges, because I think that the human spirit is so inspiring, and I think that this is a platform where we'll see it really play out well.
That's fabulous. Well, we can choose how we show up to the moment, Julie. And thank you so much for showing up here and for our audience and sharing what you know and what the platform is about. And it was really exciting to talk to you about it. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Take care, Julie.
Thank you.